Hello everyone, welcome back all of you. I am Krishna Singh Rajput and in today's video I am going to begin with sensors and industrial instrumentation. And before I proceed further, I would like to talk a bit about what should be your strategy when you exactly going to begin with a new subject. And for that purpose, I would like to take a small real life example that what exactly you do when you see a new book in front of you. So the first and foremost thing you are going to do is that you are going to have a look of its title, and by seeing it you are going to predict that what that book is going to talk about. And to know more about it, you are going to jump to its content page and then going to have a look of each and individual chapter of it, and then in detailed manner you will have a look of what that particular chapter individually going to talk about, what are all the subtopics. So that's what the main strategy should be. If you see the syllabus of any subject, your strategy should be that first of all you should be very thorough with the subject first. For that purpose, you should have the ability that the syllabus you should be able to categorize in terms of topic, and then those each and individual topics, what are all the subtopics I should know, so that I can manage the subject in very efficient and effective manner. And for that purpose, I have already made an introductory video on sensors and industrial instrumentation. If you have watched it, then well and good. And if you have not watched it, I request you to please watch that, so that you will have the proper understanding that what exactly we are going to talk in our upcoming videos. And let's begin with our topic, sensors and industrial instrumentation. So having started with the subject, first I will have a discussion on few basics first. So what is the difference between sensor and transducer? So sensor is a device which senses the changes in physical parameters and generate the output quantity or output signal. To understand that, let us consider the physical parameter as temperature, and if the output generated by the signal is displacement, either linear one or angular one, so it will be considered as mechanical output or mechanical quantity. Whereas if the output generated by the sensor is current or voltage, then it will be considered as electrical output. So physical parameter temperature in our case generate the output quantity or output signal. Output quantity which is mechanical one, output signal is electrical one. Whereas transducer is a device which converts non-electrical to electrical signal in readable form. So non-electrical means in our case temperature is getting converted into electrical output. So this part alone is going to be considered as transducer. To make it more clear, I would like to take example of sensors, where I will be taking two sensors to make it more understandable. The first one is RTD and the second one is Bourdon tube. So what RTD is going to do, resistance temperature detector, when the changes in temperatures are being measured, the output is going to be variation in electrical quantity resistance. So this is going to produce electrical output. Whereas Bourdon tube, when the changes in pressures are being measured, the output is going to be angular deflection, which is a mechanical quantity. So both RTD and Bourdon tubes are being used for measuring the physical parameters and are generating electrical output or mechanical output. So both of these are sensors. Whereas a transducer definition says only non-electrical to electrical, that too in readable form. So non-electrical we are measuring temperature here, and electrical is resistance output. So this alone is going to be considered as transducer, whereas Bourdon tube will not be considered as transducer. So what the conclusion is, if we talk about electrical output and mechanical output, if the output is electrical, then it is going to be considered as transducer. If the output is mechanical, it is going to be considered as mechanical or electrical, it is going to be considered as sensor. So that's why there is a very famous saying that all the transducers can be sensors because they are the subset of sensors, but all the sensors need not necessary to be the transducer, because it's not necessary that the sensor should produce electrical signal alone. So always keep in mind there is a huge difference between sensors and transducer, and Another important terminology is transmitter, where students get confused. So the transmitter is it is a device which converts either electrical or non-electrical quantity in 4 to 20 milliampere current signal. So irrespective of the type of input given to the transmitter, the output is always going to be in terms of 4 to 20 milliampere current signal only. So I hope the difference between sensors and transducer is clear for you, and also the transmitter, how it is completely different than sensor and transducer. So the another important thing to know about is data acquisition. So it is a process of achieving the information of physical variables like temperature, pressure, flow, etc. in required format. Let us say we have physical variables in front of us like temperature, pressure, flow, vibration, humidity, anything. So, but we have to get the information in a required format so that we can use it for monitoring purpose or for controlling purpose. So, how this data acquisition concept is going to work? Let us consider an example. Suppose we are having one cantilever beam and we are applying force or weight on it, and we want to monitor this particular system. So how we are actually going to produce a required format output data from this applied force. So let us say this force is applied to cantilever beam, and then there is one strain gauge bonded on this cantilever beam. So when we apply force on beam, it is going to give some deflection, and due to that deflection, strain gauge is going to produce changes in the resistance, and this particular changes in the resistance can be used to produce the output voltage with the help of Wheatstone bridge. And as the Wheatstone bridge may not provide very amplified voltage output, so we can use op-amp to amplify our output voltage. And then let us say the output of the op-amp is going to be analog output, right? So but we require the output in the digital format, so we will use analog to digital conversion, and then we can simply display it. So what is our purpose? We wish to display the force applied on the cantilever beam in a digital format. So what we are doing, we are giving the force input to the cantilever beam with the help of strain gauge bonded on the cantilever beam. It's producing the changes in resistance, and that resistance is being converted in terms of output voltage, and with the help of op-amp it is giving the analog output and then given to the analog to digital converter and displayed in the digital format. So this circuit number 1, circuit number 2 and circuit number 3, these combinedly going to be known as signal conditioning. So the conclusion is, data acquisition is process of achieving the information of physical variable, in our case force or weight, in required format, which is digital format. So the first thing is sensing, then the followed by signal conditioning, and then followed by display. So data acquisition overall you can just simply term as a collection of data in very appropriate form so that we can utilize it for monitoring or for further controlling purposes. So now let's make note of a few important Wheatstone bridge formulas which we are going to use very frequently in solving problems in our upcoming videos. So Wheatstone bridge is having 4 arms, and the supply voltage is provided as Vs, and the output voltage we are measuring at terminal, let's say C and D, and terminals A and B are connected with the supply voltage Vs. So mainly we discuss 3 different types of bridges. A quarter bridge means there is only one sensing arm. If out of all 4 there is only one arm which is going to be varied, so the output expression can be given as Vs by 4 delta R by R. This V0 is I have written as VQB in case of quarter bridge. And when 2 adjacent arms are going to be sensed, so let's say this is going to expand, so it is going to be R plus delta R, and if this is going to suppress. So this is going to be R minus delta R. So in this pattern, it will be known as half bridge, and two adjacent sensing arms will be there. So the output will be V0 will be V half bridge equal to Vs by 2 delta R by R. And in case of full bridge, opposite arms are experiencing the same effect. So the R1 and R4 are opposite arms. So if let's say they both are getting expanded, so this also will be like R plus delta R, and R3 and R2 opposite arms are going to suppress, so they are going to be R minus delta R. So in this case, this configuration will be known as full bridge configuration, and V out will be named as V full bridge equal to Vs into delta R by R. So that's what three basic formulas are, and if you require the derivation for all of them, I can provide in upcoming videos. For that, you will have to mention it in the comment section, and if you are really comfortable with all these three, we'll proceed further with new topics. So that's all for today, and in upcoming videos I'm going to start with the resistive sensors. Thank you.